And this seems to be one of the major arguments, not just in Ireland but globally at present, that there's an unwillingness to do what's required to save the planet in relation to carbon emissions because it will lead to lower standards of living. How do you get around that?
I think objectively that's not true. I'm sure John has argued this one well. But maybe just to give you one example, right? Ireland is, the amount of deaths in Ireland from air pollution is objectively really low. That's a blessing because of our geography, right? Small island, the winds are blowing all that pollution eastwards and for others to deal with. In continental Europe, of course, that's a real issue, actually. In some cities, even beyond Europe, massive issues with pollution. Just to give that small example, that the electrification of transport, the electrification of energy production will save lives, will reduce asthma, coughing, all sorts of respiratory diseases. That's less true of Ireland, but it is still true of Ireland. Again, for those who can recall the smog over Dublin in the 70s and the 80s, when I used to, even into the 90s, when I used to be standing at the bus stop in UCD trying to get home after psychology lectures, and you could see the smog looking towards city centre. That has gone, and actually that has reduced respiratory illnesses and death in Ireland, just to give a small example. So it is actually the case that by improving how we generate electricity and how we live our lives, there will be benefit. Of course, there's a cost. So how we manage to reduce the cost for people. But there are genuine benefits for people to be had, whether folks realise it or not. Over the long term, it will leave us in a better place.